お休み前に英語で国内ニュースの時間です。今日の話題を英語でどうぞ。
In Kumamoto Prefecture, 39 people had died in the earthquake as of 8 a.m. on August 15th. The number includes people suspected of dying from disaster-related causes. A total of 3,223 people were staying in evacuation shelters across the prefecture.
In Chiba Prefecture, 8 people have been confirmed dead after record-heavy rain began on the evening of August 13th. Some vehicles were submerged, and many buildings were flooded. Line-shaped rain bands repeatedly formed, causing serious damage in several areas.
August 15th marked 81 years since the end of the war. In Tokyo, the government held a national memorial service for about 3.1 million war dead. The ceremony began around 11:50 a.m. at the Nippon Budokan, with bereaved families attending from across Japan.
An earthquake with a magnitude of 7.7 struck off eastern Indonesia early on August 15th, followed by dozens of aftershocks. Rescue officials reported at least 20 deaths near Maumere, 6 injuries, and 2 people trapped under rubble. Waves below 1 meter were observed, and the tsunami warning was lifted about 3 hours later. A national disaster agency separately reported 1 death and 4 injuries.
On August 14th, a 39-year-old man drowned while trying to rescue his 2 sons, who had been swept out to sea at a campsite in Toyora, Hokkaido. Other campers rescued him, but he died at a hospital. The 2 boys reached the shore safely. The area was not a beach, and swimming was prohibited.
A 52-year-old resident has died after the apartment explosion in Ichikawa, Chiba, on August 1st. The blast occurred on the first floor, breaking many windows in nearby buildings. Another man in his 60s suffered minor injuries. Police suspect a gas leak because an open gas valve was not connected to a gas heater. The cause remains unknown.
Police are searching for a 12-year-old British girl who disappeared during a family trip to Japan. She was last seen leaving a rental home in Tokyo's Oda ward around 8:30 a.m. on August 13th, and she was still missing on the morning of August 15th. She was wearing a light blue sleeveless shirt and a checked skirt and carrying a pink bag. Information can be given to Kamata Police at 0337310110.
Shohei Ohtani threw 34 pitches in the bullpen before the Dodgers game on August 14th, his first bullpen session in 23 days. Manager Dave Roberts said Ohtani will have 1 or 2 more sessions, followed by at least 2 live batting practices. He would then return to a major league game, starting with 1 inning.
At the Summer Koshien Baseball Tournament on August 15th, Mii defeated Ritsurisha of Osaka 5-2. Mii reached the quarterfinals for the first time in 12 years, since 2014, and earned the 40th Summer Tournament win for a team from Mii pitcher Haruyu Ueda allowed no runs in 5 innings, while Mii scored all 5 runs early.
次は社会のニュースです。
Japan held its national memorial service on August 15th, marking 81 years since the end of World War II. Families mourned about 3.1 million victims and prayed for peace. In her first speech as Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi did not mention remorse or Japan's responsibility to Asian countries. The emperor again expressed deep remorse.
Several cabinet ministers and senior Liberal Democratic Party leaders visited Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo on August 15th. Defense Minister Koizumi, along with 2 other ministers, paid privately for ritual offerings. Party leaders Suzuki, Aramura, and Nishimura also visited. Prime Minister Takaichi did not visit, but she made a private ritual offering as party leader.
4 vessels from China's Coast Guard briefly entered Japan's territorial waters near the Senkaku Islands in Okinawa Prefecture on August 14th. They sailed inside the waters for about 1.5 hours, then all left. The Japan Coast Guard has continued monitoring them and warning them not to enter again.
In Kumamoto Prefecture, 39 people had died by 8 a.m. on August 15th in the earthquake, including people suspected of disaster-related deaths. A total of 3,223 people were staying in evacuation shelters. These figures include deaths directly caused by the disaster and suspected related deaths.
The government is considering one bill combining a cut in the consumption tax on food with a new benefit program. The bill may be submitted to the autumn extraordinary diet session. The food tax would fall from 8% to 1% for 2 years from April next year. The benefit program would begin fully in fiscal 2029.
Rain clouds are developing locally from the Kanto region to Kinki today, August 15th. In Kanto, especially Chiba, earlier rain has weakened the ground, so people should watch for landslides. Heavy rain may also affect Tokai, Kinki, Hokuriku, and Awamori. On August 16th, strong rain is expected in parts of the Kieie Peninsula and Shikoku.
7 prefectures are considering applying to become Japan's second capital areas. They are Hokkaido, Miyagi, Gunma, Aichi, Osaka, Hiroshima, and Fukuoka. The plan aims to provide substitute national functions during major disasters and spread economic activity. 4 prefectures also want to replace some central functions during disasters in the Tokyo region.
Serious traffic accidents involving foreign drivers are increasing in Japan. In the first half of 2026, there were 323 fatal or serious injury accidents, up from 267 in the same period last year. Of these, 266 or 82.4% involve drivers holding Japanese licenses. Experts point to issues with switching foreign licenses to Japanese ones.
With a 62,000 yen, a 12-year-old British girl, Carmelita Lakdesha Paul, went missing during a family trip in Japan. She was last seen leaving a vacation rental in Tokyo's Ota ward around 8:30 a.m. on August 13th. She is 160 centimeters tall, with curly black hair, and was wearing a light blue sleeveless shirt and a black and white checked skirt. Information, Kamata Police, 03-3731-0110.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
On August 15th, Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi and 3 other ministers visited Yasukuni Shrine in Tokyo. Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi did not visit. Instead, she sent a ritual offering through a party official, paying with her own money. The shrine includes convicted Class A war criminals, and reactions from China and South Korea are expected.
Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi is arranging a trip to Turkmenistan, Slovakia, Austria, and Mongolia from late August to early September. Talks are expected on economic cooperation, energy security, and regional issues. In Mongolia, Japan plans to support expansion of New Ulaanbaatar International Airport and seek cooperation on resolving the abduction issue involving Japanese citizens.
Japan's government has identified 17 strategic fields for focused investment. By 2040, it plans public and private investment totaling 3.7 trillion yen in semiconductor projects in Hiroshima Prefecture and shipbuilding in the Setouchi region. The plan was prepared by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry as part of the government's investment policy.
In New York trading on August 14th, the yen strengthened slightly to between 159.31 and 159.41 yen per US dollar at 5 p.m. It was 17 cents stronger than the previous day. The dollar was sold after reports that the Bank of Japan could raise interest rates as early as September, narrowing the Japan-US rate gap.
U.S. stocks fell on August 14th as worries about worsening tensions in the Middle East increased. The Dow Jones average dropped 107.58 points to 53,732.41. The Nasdaq fell 73.87 points to 26,729.16. The United States said it might continue an indefinite naval blockade against Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. War-ending talks were seen as stalled.
Average retail prices for pork and chicken in Japan reached record highs in August, the highest since the survey began in 2003. Pork loin rose 3 yen to 290 yen per 100 grams, while chicken thighs rose 3 yen to 156 yen. Higher import costs and demand shifting from expensive beef to cheaper pork and chicken may be driving the increases.
Frozen food maker Nichirei said on August 14th that a cyber attack in July may have exposed personal information belonging to some employees. The information may include names, birth dates, email addresses, and human resources data. The company said it has found no evidence of illegal use. The attack also disrupted warehouse operations and caused product shortages at some stores and restaurants.
ASX reported record results for January through June 2026. Sales rose 32.7% to 534.4 billion yen. Operating profit rose 48.5% to 120.4 billion yen, and net profit rose 53.3% to 82.1 billion yen. The company raised its full-year sales forecast to 1.05 trillion yen, helped by a global running boom and more casual clothing.
An international meeting on Pacific bluefin tuna fishing will be held again online on August 18th, an unusual step. The previous meeting failed to agree on larger catch limits, but Mexico now supports the proposal. Japan backed increasing next year's limit for fish over 30 kilograms by 25%, while cutting the small fish limit by 6%.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Dodgers has not been pitching because of pain in his left knee and other issues. On the 14th, he returned to the bullpen for pitching practice. It was his first bullpen session in about 3 weeks as he works toward returning to the mound.
Yoshinobu Yamamoto started for the Los Angeles Dodgers against the Milwaukee Brewers. He allowed 1 run in 6 strong innings and earned his 12th win of the season. The Dodgers played the Brewers at their home stadium in Los Angeles on the 14th. Shohei Ohtani had no hits in the game.
In the third game on the 11th day of the Summer National High School Baseball Tournament, Mie High School defeated Osaka's Rosacea High School 5-2. With this victory, Mie advanced to the quarterfinals of the tournament.
In the second game on the 11th day of the Summer National High School Baseball Tournament, Chiban Wakayama defeated Fukuei's Tsuruga Keihi 7-3. The game was decided in the 11th inning after a tiebreak. Chiban Wakayama won and advanced to the quarterfinals.
Yokohama High School pitcher Shoki Oda threw 156 kilometers per hour against Nichinan Gakuin. He entered during the 6th inning and set a new speed record for the spring and summer Koshien tournaments. He also threw 155 kilometers per hour for a strikeout, then made a double play with the bases loaded.
Munetaka Murakami of the Chicago White Sox hit the game-winning 27th home run of the season against the Detroit Tigers. The White Sox are in first place in the American League Central Division. Murakami's home run helped his team win the game.
Seiya Suzuki hit a game-winning 3-run home run in the 6th inning as the Chicago Cubs beat the St. Louis Cardinals 3-0. It was Suzuki's 21st home run and his first in 3 games. He also hit a double in the 8th inning. His season total reached 73 runs batted in.
At the Pan-Pacific Swimming Championships in Irvine, California, 17-year-old Yuki Kojima won the men's 200-meter backstroke in 1 minute, 55.38 seconds. Japan finished third in the men's 400-meter relay. Satomi Suzuki finished fourth in the women's 50-meter breaststroke with a time of 30.40 seconds.
Liverpool of England's Premier League announced plans to sell part of the club's shares to an investment group. The group includes Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. The announcement concerns only part of Liverpool's ownership, while further details were not included in the report.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
1 year has passed since U.S. President Donald Trump met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, the first face-to-face meeting between the two leaders since Russia invaded Ukraine. The meeting did not create a path to ending the war. Trump's position has shifted repeatedly, while the continuing Iran conflict clouds the outlook for peace talks.
President Donald Trump has claimed in a speech to supporters that the United States will soon declare the Strait of Hormuz to be American territory. Iran has strongly rejected the claim. Iranian officials said they will not give in to threats or displays of force. The situation remains deadlocked, with no clear progress reported.
A magnitude 7.7 earthquake struck off eastern Indonesia early on August 15th, followed by dozens of aftershocks. Rescue officials said at least 20 people died, 6 were injured, and 2 were trapped under rubble near Maumere. Waves under 1 meter were observed in several areas, and the tsunami warning was lifted about 3 hours later.
China has strongly protested visits to the Yasukuni Shrine by ministers in Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's cabinet. China called the visits a challenge to the post-war international order. Its foreign ministry also described the shrine as effectively a shrine for war criminals and said correctly recognizing history is a political foundation for relations with neighboring countries.
South Korean President Lee has expressed support for expanding cooperation between South Korea and Japan. On historical issues, he called for understanding the pain of the other side. His statement focuses on 2 points: closer cooperation between the countries and a careful approach to their difficult history.
The United Nations says more than 430 civilians were killed in Ukraine in July as Russian attacks continued. This was the highest monthly total since the early days of Russia's invasion, except for that initial period when civilian deaths were higher. The United Nations reported this figure for July.
France's Constitutional Council has ruled that a law banning children under 15 from using social media is unconstitutional. The law had been prepared for implementation next month. The Council said the ban would infringe on freedom of expression. The measure was therefore judged incompatible with France's constitution.
2 train derailments occurred on consecutive days in southeast England. On the 13th, a train carrying about 150 people derailed near Lewes Station and 3 cars overturned. 20 people were hurt, including 2 seriously. The next day, another train derailed near Wickford Station. Its 62 passengers were unhurt. Heat may have bent the rails.
A 41-year-old suspect has been charged over graffiti allegedly written on the World War II memorial in Washington. The U.S. Capitol, President Donald Trump condemned the act, saying it was the greatest possible insult to America's heroes. The report did not provide further details about the charges.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Actor Kokoro Terada, 18, entered his first bodybuilding competition at a national high school men's physique championship in Kyoto on August 15th. He showed his well-trained body and received loud cheers. Registered at 177.8 centimeters and 70 kilograms, he reportedly had 6% body fat. However, he did not make the top 14 competitors.
The popular game Kingdom Hearts will become an animated series for Disney Plus and Disney Channel. The announcement was made at a Disney fan event in Anaheim on the 14th. The story follows Sora, Donald Duck, and Goofy as they travel through worlds based on Disney stories. No release date has been announced.
Hama Okamoto, the bass player of rock band Okamoto's, will leave the group. He stopped activities in April after doctors said he needed rest. After discussions among the members, they decided to follow separate paths. The band's hall tour, starting August 15th, will go ahead with support musicians. Hama will focus on recovery.
Children's author Toshiko Takagi, known for the best-selling book The Glass Rabbit, died of old age on August 8th. She was 94. Based on her experience of losing her parents and 2 sisters in the Pacific War, the book was published in 1977. It sold more than 2.4 million copies and was translated into several languages.
Former television announcer Miho Ohashi, 48, has spoken publicly for the first time about 8 years of fertility treatment and a miscarriage. She moved to New York with her husband in spring 2023. At a local talk event, she said she has never regretted leaving her work in Japan because curiosity about a new world overcame fear.
The popular manga sells at work, which has sold more than 11 million copies and has also become an anime and film, will be adapted for kabuki. The production will be staged in Tokyo in April 2027. Einosuke Kataoka will play a white blood cell with Ikutaro Nakamura, Chusha Ichikawa, Mandy Sekiguchi, and Ryoga Ishikawa also appearing.
Weekly Shonen Jump, one of Japan's best-known manga magazines, has fallen below 1 million copies in average circulation for the first time. Its latest figure was an average of just over 980,000 copies, according to a magazine industry survey. At its peak, the magazine published about 6.5 million copies.
Businesswoman Reika Miyazaki says she suffered domestic violence from her husband, former Exile member Keiji Kuroki. On Instagram on August 14th, she said he repeatedly choked her and cut her body in late January, making her fear for her life. She said violence had continued for years, affecting their children's safety, and that she sought help.
Singer Akiko Wada, 76, revealed that she fractured her left hand while practicing a Michael Jackson dance for a December live show. She fell while trying to turn. Wada said her fingers can now move and she is recovering, but she had to cancel television appearances and found cooking, brushing her teeth, and eating difficult.
今日のニュースは以上です。最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。